Breaking news: Buhari loses 4.1 million followers on Twitter. President Muhammadu Buhari may have lost the 4.1 million people who follow him on the micro-blogging social media platform Twitter for updates on his activities, as his latest tweet threatening to deal with youth compromising the security and peace of the nation in the language they understand was pulled down yesterday. The president's tweet, which was issued after a meeting with security chiefs, may have been interpreted as a veiled reference to heightened agitation by Biafra separatists in the 5 southeast states under the aegis of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), which sometimes turn violent with resulting casualties. This pointer to indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) may not be unconnected with Buhari's mention of the Nigerian Civil War, in which he was an active participant. The 30-month war between 1967 and 1970 pitched the forces of the federal government of Nigeria, led by former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, retired, against Biafran soldiers led by the late Chief Emeka Odumegu Ojukwu. The authorities of Twitter may have been pressured to pull down the Nigerian president's tweet as a result of the number of people who reported it as an offensive hate speech. The tweet may have crossed the line of Twitter rules, which frown at abusive and spammy behavior. Twitter rules clearly state we may suspend an account if it has been reported to us as violating our rules surrounding our abuse. When an account engages in abusive behavior, like sending threats to other or impersonating other accounts, we may suspend it temporarily or, in some cases, permanently suspend. However, the federal government has expressed discontent with Twitter after the social media site deleted President Muhammadu Buhari's tweet that spoke of threatening people in the language they understand. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed, who reacted, questioned the role of Twitter in the secessionist agitation in the Southeast. He alleged that the role of Twitter in Nigeria is suspect, noting that the social media platform also backed opponents of government during the EndSARS protests. The information minister said Twitter may have its own rules. It is not the universal rule. If Mr. President anywhere in the world feels very bad and concerned about a situation, he is free to express such views. Now we should stop comparing apples with oranges. If an organization is proscribed, it is different from any other which is not proscribed. 2. Any organization that gives directives to its member to attack police stations, to kill policemen, to attack correctional centers, to kill warders, and you are now saying that Mr. President does not have the right to express his dismay and anger about that. We are the ones guilty of double standard. I don't see anywhere in the world where an organization, a person will stay somewhere outside Nigeria and will direct his members to attack the symbols of authority, the police, the military, especially when that organization has been proscribed. By whatever name, you can't justify giving orders to kill policemen or to kill anybody you do not agree with. Well, I disagree with what Lai Mohammed has just said. As a leader, there is little or no, speech that you as a leader will unleash on your citizen, because everybody, yes, has speech or has freedom to their speech, but you mind the way you talk. Not even on social media that has good rules and regulation, like Twitter. Even YouTube has rules and regulation. Facebook has rules and regulation. So many people may have been suspended, from Twitter or other platform or social media. For example, Donald Trump was suspended on social media, which is the Twitter itself, but heaven did not fall down. And Donald Trump's case is even different, very, very different from Buhari's own. Buhari's speech or post was only deleted, but his account was not suspended. But Donald Trump's account was suspended. So he, as the world president, should have deemed it fit to even disengage the citizen of US from using Twitter. But he didn't do that. Why is Buhari's own different? Mr. Mohammed's allusion to comparison of apple and orange may be a response to critics who accuse the presidency of not treating Boko Haram insurgents, killer herdsmen and bandits with similar disdain. They say the activities of these groups are more dastardly and damaging to the Nigerian society, yet the presidency shows indifference to them. United Nations Secretary General Ambassador Antonio Guterres in May 2019 document tackling hate speech is also crucial to deepen progress across the United Nations agenda by helping to prevent armed conflict. Yes, I will even talk about this. Now, the government of Buhari has been advocating against hate speech. Now, Buhari came out, himself to bridge that. He even, from his word, he is uplifting or promoting hate speech and genocide. So for you as a president that said you don't want hate speech in your country, you are the one propagating the gospel of hate speech. So you need to be prosecuted. You need to be probed in that aspect. You see all this government, now then go put law, now then go see they breach the law. So the law now don't catch up on them. See how disgraceful they are. See how they embarrass themselves. Well, atrocity, crimes, and terrorism and violence against women and other serious violations of human rights and promote peaceful, inclusive, and just society. Buhari does not fit to be a president. Addressing hate speech does not mean limiting or prohibiting freedom of speech. That is the word of Lai Mohammed. I'm continuing with his word. Then it means keeping hate speech from escalating into something more dangerous, particularly incitement to discrimination, hostility, and violence, which is prohibited under international law. Hate speech is understood as any kind of communication in speech, writing, or behavior that attacks or uses pejorative or pejorative word or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group on the basis of who they are, in other words, based on their religion, ethnicity, and nationality. The attempt to establish the Independent National Commission for the Prohibition of Hate Speeches Bill, better known as Hate Speech Bill, remains one of the most controversial bills to be passed by the legislative arm of government in Nigeria. Although it is still at the first reading stage 2, it has already received a lot of criticism and agitations by various groups. Stakeholders clamoring for a review of the capital punishment prescribed in the bill or for the discountenance of the bill in its entirety. Many perceive the bill as an attempt by the government to place limitations on the freedom of expression of its citizens, a fundamental human right enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria, while some others sees it as a bill which not only goes against morality, but it is an offshoot of the antics of some political leaders who desire to further their personalized objectives. The stated objective of the bill is to promote national cohesion and integration by outlawing unfair discrimination, hate speeches, and the establishment of an independent national commission for the prohibition of hate speeches and connected matters. Well, the bill specifically prohibits the commission of ethnic discrimination, hate speech, harassment on the basis of ethnicity, ethnic or racial contempt, and discrimination by way of victimization by individuals or corporate bodies. The Federal High Court is a court empowered with exclusive jurisdiction to try all offences of such nature under the bill. The draft bill is structured into 4 parts, which I have read also. Yes, Buhari's government is promoting genocide and hate speech. So many Nigerians have been reacting, and I know you also, you are aggrieved and angered by this administration. Well, let's see how it goes, because the war has just started.